Hello, everybody. Do you want to go first? You can do whatever you want. Everybody, I present to you, welcome to Gracie Mansion. I present to you our fabulous, our excellent Commissioner of Small Business Services, Janelle Doris.
Well, we're in the mayor's house. He has other ways of getting in here. He's like snuck by us. Well, thank you, sir. It's really, today is my honor and privilege, and I didn't want to miss this, to introduce our mayor. He has led our city through this pandemic, really bringing us from the epicenter of this crisis to the national symbol of resiliency and recovery. All we have accomplished could not be possible without the unwavering support of our mayor. And I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to our mayor for his great work. Mr. Mayor, we thank you for your leadership and commitment. You trusted us and our small businesses and our workers across the city. Please, everyone, put your hands together and welcome the mayor of New York City, Mayor Bill de Blasio.
I just want you to see that I introduced Janelle so he could introduce me. I mean, that's bureaucracy, right? That's right. Everybody, I want to just tell you, I am so happy to see you in every sense. I am so happy to see friends. I am so happy to see good people who have fought your way every step of the way through hell and back, if I may be so bold. And the story is going to be told one day that this heroic city persevered, and it was all of you who kept it together for everyone else, kept people's livelihoods, kept people going, give them hope. So much of what you've done is for the history books. It may not feel entirely like that yet because we're still in it. But, you know, I'm in a little bit of a reflective phase of life at this point due to the wonder of term limits. I think we are living history. I think you're literally right now, you're painting a picture, you're writing a story, and it's a pretty astounding story. And this morning I announced an update on the heels of the CDC. CDC announced that for the United States of America, 60% of all Americans, all ages, are now fully vaccinated. And that's a very good thing, 60%. But because of all of you, and because of so many other good people out there and our healthcare heroes, in New York City is, as of today, 70% of all New Yorkers now fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated. And so this is how we fight back. This is how we come back. I'll be very quick, but I want to give some credit where credit is due. The two gentlemen behind me have been heroic during this effort. It is not easy. Every one of you knows what it's like to hold something together and keep going. And everyone depended on you, and you had to be the brave face. Well, for each of these guys, that was 8.8 million people. And I will tell you, in both cases, they literally never wavered for a moment. And, you know, Phil Thompson was minding his own business. He was up at MIT having a very nice life as a professor. But the problem in his life is we had worked together in the Dinkins years, and I remembered how great he was. And I said, come on, Phil, why don't you take a little break from teaching and try something new? And I didn't mention, nor did I know there would be a global pandemic thrown in, but he answered the call and has pushed the entire team to constantly do more for equity and fairness and to put our money where our mouth is, not just talk about equity, but invest. And for all the folks out there who are already benefiting from an unprecedented level of investment in minority and women-owned businesses, this is the guy you have to thank right here, Deputy Mayor Phil Thompson. You can stand on your foot for a moment. He looks like a James Bond villain with that foot. And then Janelle Doris, everyone has seen his trajectory as one of the architects of those very successful MWBE efforts. But then when we took over Small Business Services, having to create a way to reach tens of thousands of businesses, and a lot of you can attest, get his agency to be a get to yes, how do we help, how do we make it better agency more deeply than ever, and innovating so many ways, just whatever it took, keep businesses alive, get them through to better days. He and his team did an amazing job. Let's thank Janelle for all of that. So I'll be very, very quick. I want to say this. So what we went through, now we're New Yorkers. I always say about New Yorkers, we have tough exteriors, but behind those tough exteriors beat hearts of gold, and both were true in this crisis. It took a lot of toughness and resiliency to keep fighting through. And a lot of businesses hung on by a thread, but so many of you determined no matter what came your way, you would. So many people you work with, the same, and that you represent, just you realize if you hang on, you hang on, you hang on what might be possible. And again, people's livelihoods got saved because of that. That was not easy for any of you, but you had that fighting spirit and that toughness that makes us New Yorkers that we're so proud of, but you also had the hearts of gold that you wanted to help your employees, you wanted to help your community. And you knew, and I think you know it deeply, but I want to say it, that for so many of the small businesses, you define neighborhoods, you define the character of the city, you define the life of the city, you define the spirit of the city. And so when we lose a small business, we lose part of our humanity and our heart and soul as New Yorkers. So it was not just preserving a physical place or a paycheck for someone, it was preserving our identity. And in so many cases, people found a way, and now, thank God, we have started to see recovery, even with these new challenges. And I will tell you, I got good friends in this room, and occasional critics, but those critics, Andrew, those critics will... Security, take that man out. We are to the Gracie Dungeon. The Gracie Dungeon has not been reported publicly, so on a need-to-know basis. It's like a few weeks later, people are like, hey, have you gotten any emails back from Andrew? I haven't heard from him in a while. Someday you will thank me for an aggressive approach to vaccination. Someday. But no, really, we got to get this right. Whatever anyone believes, I respect everyone's beliefs, and everyone's been through the struggle together, but we got to get this right. And there's a reason New York City is open right now, and Germany is closing down. Yes. Okay, and so I want to say to everyone, I am obsessed that we cannot shut down again. Yes. Okay, can I get an amen? Amen. So we cannot shut down again. We cannot go back to restrictions. That is, I think, morally the right position. That is the humanitarian position. But also, if we're talking pragmatically how we save businesses, a lot of businesses in this town cannot afford another shutdown. The answer to that is we're going to get everyone vaccinated. And we're going to move forward. We're going to move forward. So, look, in the end, challenging as it's been, there are things that really have worked. The whole MWB initiative has worked beyond our wildest dreams. Thank you to everyone who pushed us to go farther. Your voices were heard. And everyone who said it could not be done, or that somehow there wouldn't be enough good businesses to contract with, guess what? We're on a $25 billion plan, and there's plenty of great businesses ready to serve the people of this city who deserve that investment. $25 billion, and then let's go farther from there. And I want to just mention a personal favorite, little crazy idea we called open restaurants. The outdoor dining, everyone. This was another one. I want to give credit. Some folks initially said, what about outdoor dining? Could we do this? And I have to say, I said, I like the idea, but can we do it? Can we actually do it? And this city government actually shocked even me by coming up with something that was easy and non-bureaucratic and customer-friendly, business-friendly, and you got the space for free. That your kind of price, Melba? So one of my colleagues described themselves as a freegan. They'll eat any food that's free. So I know after all the different rules and regulations and permit costs and everything else that small business deals with, I thought it was refreshing to just give you something for free. Okay? Now let's keep outdoor dining going permanently, everybody. Okay? We need it for this city and for our long-term recovery. So all of these things have made an impact. And it has reminded us that we can do these things together. We actually do things we never thought of before. I got to be honest with you. I love outdoor dining. I have always, stereotypically in my family, if it's like close to almost too cold, I'm the guy who wants to dine outdoors, and everyone else could we go inside, please? Years and years and years ago, that was me. But the notion that we could do it this way never occurred to me. And I hate that it came out of a crisis, but I love that we found the way. And now it is part of making this city newer and better. It's something that has made us better and that people just love. And so our ability to learn, grow, change, adapt, that is this city to our core. Not surprisingly, as the greatest city in the world and the greatest city of immigrants in the world, it is not surprising that if you bring together folks of every culture and background and you bring together that entrepreneurial, creative immigrant spirit and you mix it all together, that we're going to be the place that comes up with new ideas and makes them happen. That's who we are, and that has sustained us. And we're going to keep doing that. Today, we're also taking another step with small business resilience grants, because we need to keep putting money in your hands so you can keep the city strong and you can keep hiring New Yorkers. So I'll conclude by saying, I imagine I'm going to do a show of hands. Who heard from someone in their lives that they were going to leave New York City because New York City would never be the same and New York City would never come back? Or a friend somewhere else saying, oh, it's all over for you guys. Anyone hear some of that? Okay. So we did a census in the middle of a pandemic. That was not our preferred option, but that's what the Constitution says. So we did a census in the middle of a pandemic. Incredible census campaign. Some of you were a part of it and supported it. Thank you. And in the middle of a pandemic with every possible disadvantage, we got a result. The city's population grew. We're now 8.8 million New Yorkers. And that number is probably even low compared to reality. We are bigger than we've ever been, bolder than we've ever been. Anyone who bets against New York City will lose. Just pure and simple. We are rising again, and we're going to be stronger than ever. And a lot of folks in this room are going to build that new chapter, and I am excited for it, and I thank all of you. You have been heroic, you have been strong, you have been resilient, you have been compassionate. Great things ahead. Thank you, and God bless you all.